The internet is in an uproar on what happened. Granted, this is great for ratings, great for everything. However, it kind of sucks in the moment for these three individuals. The Dalai Lama says, do not let the actions of others destroy your inner peace. That goes for Sexton, Roczen, and arguably the fastest man on the planet right now, Jett Lawrence. You had 1 minute and 30 seconds left in Moto 2, and Jett decides to just let him by. And he says that it's a gift, it's a baby gift, but overall, it didn't mean a darn thing. I don't even know if the contracts for Suzuki allow for a Moto win to get a bonus. If so, that would be a baby gift. That would definitely be a baby gift from Hemp Suzuki or Progressive Suzuki if he got some sort of a bonus there. But if it was only for an overall win, well, it didn't change anything. And Jett further goes into on the podium.
Where I was thinking. Trying to do maths, but and yeah, I kind of took 2 laps and was like kind of making sure, like just thinking and making sure it would, if I did let him pass, it wouldn't affect my kind of overall. But turns out my great maths, it wouldn't have mean anything if I would have let him pass or not. So
Jett, I'm gonna give you a pass on this one because I was sitting on my ass. I wasn't winning a super motocross playoff round doing 180 beats trying to add to 5. I was just sitting here and I couldn't add to 5. If you guys want to check it out, I royally made a mistake. I even got a super chat by telling me how wrong I was, and I still couldn't add to 5. I didn't delete the video, so if you want to see it, you can see me make the massive mistake. Darn it. However, I digress. Really, if I'm thinking about what would have been a great gift to Kenny, it would have been to let the race unfold. Let him earn it. Let him earn the win for his new little boy, because we got gypped out of a massive race that was going to happen with 1 minute and 36 seconds left. That at least 3 laps. That would have been something to see for the viewers. And I know that's kind of why a lot of the viewers are a little bit upset at stuff, because it really didn't make a difference in the long run. Whether or not Kenny was able to get a bonus from Hemp Suzuki by winning a moto, I don't know. It might have just been an overall, but yeah, it would have been a baby gift if he would have gotten an extra 50 grand, 100 grand for winning a moto. But typically, I think most of that stuff is for the win, for the overall win. And that's how they get paid. That's why a lot of the rules, yeah, you can get docked points, but you still finish such and such where you did, because there's a big podium bonus for the teams and the riders as far as incentives so that they could keep going to the races, etc. It almost makes you think like maybe he should have done what Joe did and looked down at the bike to let Hunter by. You know, do the James Stewart, tuck the front end. Anyway, these guys are probably out for blood for him come this weekend for the finale, which is going to be exciting. The narrative here makes this a good race. Feld, MX Sports should be eating this up. Everyone should be tuning into this. You've got Kenny's mechanic saying, was it handed to us? No, we work our asses off and we were winning it either way. That is pretty badass right there. Then you have Kenny going on to say, hey, I could care less of a so kind of baby gift win from Jett. Thank you much. I really appreciate. The math didn't make a difference whatsoever. And then you've got Sexton, who's probably upset at the same thing too. Says, good riding, brother. Darn it. You know, even the best make mistakes. And in the long run, was it really a mistake? Because it gets everybody talking. What makes it even better is the points. It is a 9-point swing between first and second because you've got a triple point. So 25 usually to win, and now it's going to be 75. And for second, it's usually 22. So now it's going to be 66. That's a 9-point swing. So a lot could happen. Relatively, it's just a battle between the Honda boys, but Kenny could take it too if something happens to these two guys. Moving on to the 250 class, we got gypped out of a good battle towards the end between between Joe and Hunter, the dude that had the red plate and the guy that was wanting the red plate. You have Joe on the outside of Hunter on the start, makes the first pass. They had an epic battle pretty much the entire moto, but this was potentially the highlight, was lap 1. Hunter comes in and takes Joe out of a rut. He's a very aggressive rider, and then later in the sand, Joe on the inside ends up taking it back from him. But then later he starts looking down at his bike. There's one time looks down at his bike, looks back, kind of look at his bike, looks down again, and then cases the finish line and just lets Hunter by. But then he ends up still finishing really well and finishing strong. On the podium, he said that, yeah, he just wanted it to stay safe. Of course, you need to be safe, and if you don't have faith in your equipment, that is hard. Him just finishing the race is astonishing if he didn't have faith in that equipment in that motorcycle. Because we're speculating, it makes you think, was this a better scenario than what Jett did? So you look down at the bike, you make it seem like, oh, no, like something's wrong, and you let the guy by. You do the James Stewart thing, tuck the front end. Points. It is a winner take all this weekend. You heard me say it, 9-point swing. Look at this. This is definitely under 9 points. You've got 4, and then you've got 7. Oh, it's going to be an interesting LA Coliseum for sure. And if Deegan wins it, yeah, everyone's talking about doing the Brian Deegan thing and just chucking the bike. Yeah,
checkered flag, and Deegan lets his bike fly into the air.
Get a fine, get whatever, just the 2 highlight reels there, they would make so much money for the PR, even with the fines, would be nuts. The whole stadium would be off the walls. On the topic of mistakes, I see a lot of people not fueling themselves properly. And so I suggest you go to CoachRobStore.com under his product line, because he has a bunch of nutrition and supplements. My favorite is the Energy Fuel. You know I'm training for this Ironman. The standard 1 to 3 hours of moderate to high intensity exercise. It has a lactic acid buffer in there that's going to help you with arm pump. This stuff is delicious and it works well. Make sure you're shopping at CoachRobStore.com. I wanted to give an update on Richards on the Super Mini, and he is doing well. He ended up making it to the race and finishing 3rd, but he had a massive get-off in the night show, and it was possibly because he's a massive kid on an 85 at 15. He can chase Sexton this motorcycle because of how big he is. However, I don't know how he was able to even jump this clean from the inside. Watch what he does is he gets kicked from that rut right here. Boom, ass end kicked. That was just enough. So if we slow it down, kick. So he has less time being on the ground for propulsion to get traction to jump this. And he still goes for it. Little kid's got balls. Little kid's got balls. For sure. Because you have Deegan. What he does is he gets hooked, foot drag, and he decides to pretty much do the same thing as Richards, but he doesn't go for it. And he is on a factory star Yamaha, not 85. This is a factory star bike, and he doesn't do the finish line. Thought it was just very interesting because this was for the lead. And we all know Deegan is not going to let somebody by just for the hell of it. He's not going to Jett or Joe it. I know, I put those together kind of out of context. Yeah, you guys can do what you want with it. I just found it interesting that Deegan didn't even go for it, and he has Supercross somewhat set up. You know, it's a hybrid moto Supercross suspension that he did not want to case it, but he would have survived compared to little Richards casing the crap out of it and putting himself on the ground. If you've made it this far, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tune in. Make that notification icon WFO so you can get all the updates from my channel. Let's watch Justin Barcia through this hook here. In my lines video from yesterday, I went over Jett Lawrence making a hook by cutting out early into a rut, and this was just pushed down. This line originally was here, but these guys started cutting it out halfway, and it just went deeper and deeper and deeper. Watch what Barsha does right here. His front wheel is not going to be in the actual berm here, and I believe that's what was the first thing that went wrong here and got him off balance. Because if you watch Dylan, he has got his front wheel completely in there, and he's able to go about his day like nothing really went wrong. I find it ironic that after Barsha goes down, the guy that cleans him out is Jason Anderson on accident. But those guys have gotten together all year long. It's just, they've both been on probation. It's just interesting. Till next time, keep it WFO. Bra da 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 da.